Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, what is up guys? Horror Nights Fan 13 here, and today I'm doing my first video on our technical 5th but actual 4th codename for Halloween Horror Nights 2017 Hollywood. That is right, codename Uberfan. I'm finally getting a speculation video out on this maze, the replacement maze for the Big Chill, aka the Conjuring. But before I get into this video, please, as always, show your support. Like the video if you like it. Comment what you think about Uberfan and what you think it could be and what you think about what this actually may be. And subscribe if you want to keep up with further update. I have a lot of videos coming out soon, including a construction video. I know a lot of people love construction videos, and I'm going to have one soon. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are too. Follow social media at HHNFan13 on Twitter and at Horror Nights Fan 13 on Instagram. Both of those I'll follow you back on just as a thank you for showing your support to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so codename Uberfan. A little bit of a background on codename Uberfan. A lot of you may not know really like what goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. Most of us don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. However, this year, when The Conjuring was put on the list, a lot of people were very, very excited. Conjuring was in the leak lineup. Conjuring was heavily speculated to be coming this year since it didn't come last year. And it was actually going to be coming this year. However, there was a huge, huge lawsuit involving The Conjuring and somebody who has exclusive rights to the stories of Ed and Lorraine Warren, a deal done with Lorraine Warren. I believe he was suing Warner Brothers for $600 million. It's either $300 or $600 million. So it was quite a substantial lawsuit, and he had a very strong case. So I don't think Universal wanted to deal with the drama of a lawsuit, deal with having to go through this third party to get approval to use The Conjuring at the event, so they just decided to scrap the maze entirely and rebuild. So, codename Uberfan. This maze is going in the Waterworld queue. Let's get into the speculation. Alright, so, the hint for this. Uberfan doesn't relate to anyone on the production crew being an Uber fan of any part of like a movie or something. The connection is actually to the design of the facade for this maze, which is very, very strange. So you gotta strap in tight and bear with me on this one. But, you know, for name's sake, I'm going to call this connection All Night Die-In. So, if you're an Orlando fan, specifically an Orlando fan from Halloween Horror Nights 13, which is 2003, you will know that there was a maze featuring the director called All Night Die-In, where the director remade the 4 slasher films, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In this maze, you saw, you know, scenes from each of those movies together in one maze, and the director was like remaking them to be perfect in his mind. So how did I come up with this? Before I get into this connection, I'm gonna say, how the heck did I come up with this? At the time of shooting this video, this is a Monday. Yesterday, which would be a Sunday, the day after my trip to Universal, somebody, a character, a future character, or at least somebody who's most likely going to be a character, they got the golden ticket, they may be casted, have no idea yet. Somebody went on to one of the forums, the Horror Night Nightmare forums, and they said like, hey, you know, I love being like working for the event because I get to know all this stuff that you don't get to know, and I get to revel in your excitement. And I'm like, okay, this guy's just trying to bait people. And somebody asked him, like, is there anything you know that you can tell us? And he's just like, you know, Blumhouse is happening, Ash vs. Evil Dead is happening, Jigsaw is happening, Insidious Chapter 4 is happening. I'm not sure if I said Insidious Chapter 4 is happening. And the Titans of Terror, which was originally speculated to be the Terror Tram theme, is actually a maze. And that that started to feel legit. Because this person confirmed a lot of things that, I mean, we had already been talked about, so who knows, they could be a troll. They did post a lineup a few days prior. They removed that post like probably a couple hours after. However, I quoted them in the post and I'm like, okay, I'm calling you out. Your leaked lineup is actually a troll. None of this stuff is coming this year. You are full of crap. So I'm not sure how much I trust this person, especially since at this time, late last night, they posted a long list of where each maze will go located in the park, and they said, okay, on the upper lot, the Conjuring replacement goes in Waterworld Q and Titans of Terror goes in Parisian Courtyard. That immediately threw up a red flag to me, since the Conjuring was planned to be in Waterworld Q, and the replacement for the Conjuring, if this person is correct, would be the Titans of Terror maze. So that would be in Waterworld, not in Parisian. The next red flag was down on the lower lot. He said Insidious is going in Jurassic Park and Saw is going in The Mummy. That is a big red flag to me. Like, if you claim to have inside information and then get a venue that has already been confirmed wrong, it's a big red flag. Yeah, and it's kind of like an off red salmon thing, but hey, it's a flag, and it's red. So it's a big red flag. And like, it's hard to believe people when they get information that has already been confirmed wrong and they're claiming to be an inside source. However, I'm just running with this to see, see where it gets me. It may get me to be the first connection to this maze that might be right. There have been so many connections to Uberfan. Nobody knows what it is. Nothing is leaked until supposedly now. But yeah, let's get back on track. So those are kind of the big red flags for me. The connection, however, since I'm just rolling with it, here's just what I wrote in my notebook. So it was an Orlando maze in 2003. I already went into the full description of that maze. And possibly the connection to the facade would be that, Uber fans of Halloween Horror Nights would recognize the facade because they're fans of both coast events. They would know the lore, they'd know the past events, so they would know that if the facade was an all-night die-in, that it would be somewhat similar to an Orlando maze, which would be something for Uber fans of the event. I'm not sure, if that is really super solid, but, it's kind of there. So let's talk about what the contents of this maze might hold for us. So, this maze would most likely be another compilation maze, so kind of like the Blumhouse mashup, like American Horror Story last year, where there are a set number of rooms for certain properties themselves. Like American Horror Story, you go Murder House, Freak Show, Hotel. None of them are related in scenery, so you just jump from one to one to one, and you get through all those 3 seasons. With Blumhouse mashup, it's most likely going to be the same thing. You jump from movie to movie to movie. So Uber fan, it'll probably be the same thing. You jump from, let's say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then you jump over to Halloween, then you go to Friday the 13th, and then you go to Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if this will be exactly like the all-night die-in maze for Orlando. Sorry, there's a big truck outside, and it's making it kind of hard for me to talk. Well, it stopped for now, but so the all-night die-in maze in 2003 featured their icon, the director. Now, this maze, as I said, it was like the director's original take on these properties, so he was like directing them, and they just had the scenes of certain like famous parts of these movies, and it was a very original feeling maze, but it had IP content in it. I'm not sure if that's what John is going to do with this. I don't think he's going to want to involve the director, because then everyone's going to be like, hey, the director's at the event, why not make him an icon? I think he may come up with some original storyline for it. I have no idea. If he were to involve the director, that would be really cool. However, John has said many times in the past that the Orlando icons stay in Orlando. They don't come over to Hollywood anymore. I mean, I know they used to with the director and Jack the Clown. I don't know what other icons had been at Hollywood. I just know that the director and Jack the Clown have both been there in the past. But who knows? I'm just rambling on at this point. That is possibly what Uberfan is. I'm just gonna roll with it. And I'll leave you guys with that. So, thank you all for watching. Please, as always, show your support. Like the video if you like it. Comment what you think about Uberfan. Comment if you think the Titans of Terror, All Night Die-In, whatever the heck it is. Comment if you think it would be really cool. I personally think it would be pretty cool. And subscribe if you want to keep up with further updating. A lot of videos coming out soon. Super exciting stuff. Follow social media at HHNFan13 on Twitter and at HorrorNightsFan13 on Instagram. Both of those you get a follow back on just as a thank you for your support. And I'll see you on the next video.